Hello and welcome to Trails Through Trails, the podcast where we play through the long-running Trails series, chapter by chapter, game by game. I'm one of your hosts, Lex, and I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Matt, I use he, him pronouns, and this week we are not taking it chapter by chapter, we're in fact taking it Sundoor by Sundoor.
That's right.
Because we were bad in a previous life and now we have to play all these minigames.
This is exactly what it is. I have some things to say.
Oh boy, the dreaded episode of all time.
Gonna be fun to record. Boy, prep. This was the worst to prep for, though.
I finally understand why it's called the Trauma Cube, purely based on these 5 sub-chapters of this podcast you're about to experience.
All right, so for context, what we're going to do here, we're having a little mini episode to rate and review all 5 of the Sundoors in Trails in the Sky the Third, which is the game we are playing. I don't think we've mentioned that yet, if somebody's just tuned in for the first time.
What a choice. So
Matt, our spreadsheet wizard, has made a lovely spreadsheet to tally our scores of these.
Yes.
And we're basically going to do a little roundup review of them because it didn't fit neatly into another chapter, and also because we're going to need to drink the pain away after talking about them this long. But anyway, so this should be short and sweet as long as we don't bitch too much.
Yes. So we're just going to go through these 5 doors in order. There are only 5 Sun minigame doors in Sky the Third.
Thank Adios.
And they have been kind of scattered across the game. I feel like we've acknowledged them as we've sort of passed them, but beyond that, not much. So we'll just kind of reference where they're from, what you need to get them, and then how they made us feel.
Some type of way.
You are my sun.
4.
My only son.
4. Number 1.
Shall we dive straight into it and begin with Sundoor 1?
Sundoor 1, Capua Delivery Service. I almost missed this door by the time I finished some of the other ones. I'll say that.
Yeah, this one was back in the Jade Corridor in, I believe, the first chapter of the game.
I think it was chapter 1.
Which we passed by. It says you need the girl from the sky who hangs out with a bunch of dudes and does all their laundry and stuff, which is Josette, but we don't get her until a little bit later on.
We know one of those.
Once we bring her back, we get to experience a little bit of a story intro before we get into the minigame or even find out what the minigame is. They really like sort of holding their cards in reserve to tell you why you're even here to begin with.
Yeah. This is, I think, the first Sundoor that both of us did. We did this like a while back, I think.
Yeah.
Because we wanted the reward. But I think we talked a little bit of shit about it, but we've saved the best for this episode for you.
Yes.
Some of these doors don't give that much of a prologue, but most of them give some story. And this one gives a little look into what the Capua family is up to. We get a glimpse of their lives before they lost their land and their homeland. They used to be a noble family in the Empire. They had a lot of land. And then the oldest brother, Don, made some dumb decisions, trusted the wrong people, and got conned out of all of their family land and money. They were forced to flee, and they took up being bandits. They, I guess, managed to get an airship. I can't remember if they said how they had the money for the airship. Maybe they had already bought it, and it was the only thing that wasn't stolen. I don't remember, but I feel like they say at some point. And so they became bandits. Then, in the present, we met them when they were bandits, and they've reformed, and they're now doing a delivery service.
After they got in good with the Queen and the royal family and got invited to that wonderful banquet and everything, they are back on the good side of society. They're operating their delivery service. And as we enter the scene, they are at the border of Leberle and Calvard. They say 2,200 arge high, so they're 2.2 kilometers up in the air, which is... Actually, that's flying pretty low for aircraft. I suppose they're not quite as supersonic as a jet plane, but probably a bit of noise pollution coming from that as well.
I guess it's more like a helicopter height, you know?
True, yeah, and the Bobcat's pretty small. Maybe it's not too bad. But we're making a delivery to Valeria Lake, and they're celebrating the fact that Queen Alicia has pardoned them and she paid off all their debts. So all of their family's problems are just kind of gone, which is cool. Good job, Queen Alicia.
Yeah, thanks, Queen Alicia. I hope you didn't have a bunch of other debts that the country's avoided paying off in order to pay this one off.
And I mean, that tsunami that washed over the lake didn't actually cause any damage, so they don't need any repair money whatsoever. Maybe a dry cleaning bill for those fishermen who got splashed.
Yeah, but they're fishermen, so their clothes are probably able to be laundered normally. They don't even need dry cleaning.
True, yeah.
But apparently business is booming. They're having a good time.
Hmm.
And they're, getting orders from all over. All is great. They get lots of, papers and documents and letters and orders and whatever. And one paper they've received was a letter from Joshua, Don tells Gisette. Gisette's very excited about this, except it turns out that the letter he hands her from Joshua is actually the receipt that they were supposed to give another customer, which suggests they gave Joshua's letter to their customer. Gisette's not impressed.
Not a great move for this delivery company so early in their careers.
Pretty bad. And this kind of devolves into an argument over, it was Don's fault that we lost everything in Erebonia and our home, and Don, you always mess everything up. And then something worse happens that distracts them from fighting. There's a hostile aircraft that shows up.
Yes, one of the Red Society ships are on approach.
And it's not just anyone piloting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's boss fight of the year 2025, Gilbert Stein, the gift that keeps on giving.
He's
everywhere.
This man simply must be stopped.
You said you liked him in that one thing, and he's now the ex who won't leave you alone because you were nice to him once.
That's me. I'm punished, Matt. Gilbert's here because he wants to test some new weapon on the Capuas. He's got a new flying ship thingy.
Yep.
What would he call it?
Apache?
Yeah, I was going to say the G-copter, but yeah.
He's got, subordinates with him, subordinate Ouroboros Jaegers, who are clearly subordinate because they think what he's doing is stupid, but they still go along with it because he won't change his mind. So clearly, he's in charge.
Yeah.
They think it's about it. They're we have definitely not been told to do this. I'm pretty sure we're under instructions not to do this kind of thing, in fact. So, but Gilbert doesn't care.
Yes. He's just going to start an air fight with his fantastic winning streak, which leads us into our mini-game of the Sun Door, which is a turret mini-game.
Basically, Josette is manning the guns for the Bobcat while Kyle and Don are, piloting and maneuvering it. It's a turret minigame. It's very bad.
It's really bad, yeah. The gun moves too slowly. The bullets have a really small hit space, I feel like. It was really easy to miss. And it gets to a point where it would be nigh impossible to actually control fast enough to hit everything to get a perfect score.
Yeah, you can change the speed, but there is no speed that actually feels right. Like the speed of moving the gun around, there is no good speed. It's just wrong no matter what.
And I feel like you can go back, there's not really more levels of it, but you can just do more of it, which I didn't. I didn't need to.
Yeah, I think there's a harder level of it. It's not new story content, it's just hard mode. I don't need to do that. I don't want to know what it looks like when they're trying to make it difficult. It was already difficult enough to play like this. This is one where I think the idea of it is, I can see that they were trying to do something. There's clearly somebody on the team or a few people who wanted to make a turret game.
Yeah.
And I like the story stuff that they did with it. And I think the concept is more interesting than some of the things they come up with, except the execution is shoddy.
Yeah. I appreciate that I only have to play one level of it.
I had to do it twice because I died.
Because I don't know that you even get additional rewards for doing the higher model of the turret game.
I don't know. Let me check.
Because the guide I'm looking at says, when you beat the standard level, you get the detection quartz, which is the one that we wanted to play this back in the day for.
Yeah. And you got the S-Craft for Josette, the Bobcat S-Craft.
Oh, yes, and the S-Craft. You get a pittance of money, which I have noticed that Third really doesn't give out money very freely. I was struggling to pay for weapons constantly. Obviously, it's an increasing cast size at the same time, but it's just...
Well, late in the game, it suddenly gives you way more Sepith and way more money.
Yep.
Than it has been until then. When we have to give $50,000 to go in a Sun Door and get 100,000 back, that was nice.
Yeah.
But for a while, the economy was tough.
This one was just kind of fine. That's about all there is to say about it.
I wonder if this one is a little less bad if you're playing it on PC, with a keyboard and mouse.
Maybe.
But I wouldn't expect it to be good that way either. I don't know.
It just feels kind of unpolished, unplay-tested, because, you're doing all this shooting down enemies, then eventually at the end, Gilbert shows up in his G Apache, and you've got to fight him like a big boss. And that's just kind of tiring. I remember when I got through... Because there's no way to, really dodge much or anything, you're just kind of getting your health chipped away at slowly, piece by piece. And so I just managed to beat him before he could beat me, and that was about it.
We win, though, eventually. We forgot to finish off the story, because we do win.
Yep.
Josette's Don, that's because you're a great leader, so now they've made up. Somebody finds one of the non-sibling employees of the thing finds his letter and the letter from Joshua in the hold and gives it to Josette. So Josette is happy, and then they speed off to try and finish their delivery. Gilbert falls into the water, and his subordinates decide not to go fetch him. They're like, Campanella will find it funnier if we just leave him. And this is how Gilbert ends up in the waters of Grand Sal with his Geopachi in the prologue. So this is actually like the original sin. This is Eve and the apple. This is the reason we had to put up with him the entire game, because we shot him into the water here, into the harbor, and he was in the space when the cube sucked Kevin in.
It's all my fault. I brought this on myself.
Yeah, we did this.
They do read Josh's letter as he's leaving, and it basically just says that he's about to be leaving Erebonia for his search for someone. So also lines up with the Star Doors we've seen previously about Joshua and Estelle getting ready to go on their trip. And just says, beyond that, just take care of yourself, Josette. Just a kind, sweet message to a friend. A friend.
What's funny about the timeline of this is that this is before Joshua leaves for Erebonia in Moondor 4. He's made it to Crossbell by that point, so he's already been to Erebonia, to Hamel, and to Crossbell. So it's been at least a few weeks, which means Gilbert was just stranded in Grand Sal for weeks. It's not like that happened immediately afterwards. He was just stranded. Like, nobody from the society, came to pick him up. Yeah.
And as we've learned from Gilbert throughout this entire game, when he gets to end up somewhere, he just decides that's his new home and sets up shop.
Exactly.
So he's like, well, I guess I live next to this warehouse on the docks now. I will hang out here until I can bother someone.
He has an impressive amount of learned helplessness. I can't find a way out. I'm just here.
No, I'll just wait for someone else to solve it.
What a guy.
But that puts a cap on our first Sun Door, Capua's delivery service.
I want to shout out the title screen first, because all of these, one of the only saving graces of these is they all have very cute, title screens, these Sun Doors, and this one's cute too. But we also learned Capua Delivery's motto: we're fast, we're reliable, you can always count on Capua. So I think that's adorable that
very cute.
They tried to alliterate there. And their logo is a cat with wings and goggles. So the bobcat done like a cat, which is very cute.
Yeah, love it.
So kudos to them for that. Still a bad game, but you're cute.
Yep.
So how do we rate this?
Well, badly for me.
The thing is, I don't know how many, there's not enough degrees of low before we hit, for all of the Sun Doors. All of these, I think, maybe not all of them, but almost all of them, except maybe one, have to be below every single star in Moondor, right? Maybe the arena one is, fine, but the rest are, shit.
I did pre-rank this one back when I originally played it, just so that I wouldn't lose my sense of ire. So I am giving this 1.5 stars. It gets a star because of the cute little Capua story segment.
Yeah.
And it gets half a star for gameplay.
I'm torn between 1.5 and 2, just because I want there to be more range lower, because I feel like, are we allowed to do 0 stars in this, or do we have to have at least half a star?
I think no stars is an amount of stars.
Okay, we can't have negative stars, but we can have no stars.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. I guess sure. I'll say 1.5.
That seems like a great omen to begin this list.
Oh boy. Next is the one that we're going to have the most to say.
Oh my, yes.
Door. Sun Door number 2.
Okay.
Sun Door 2, Legendary Angler Estelle. I cried. I was so frustrated, I cried. It was so bad. I spent almost 3 straight hours trying to get past round 1 today, without a break.
3 oh, yeah.
I kept getting perfect, and the other guy would get steadily 2 of the super... Okay, here are my thoughts on this. We now have proof that hell does not exist because we're already there because this minigame exists. Oh my god, I was like, death penalty for Lloyd, this cheat. How is he able to fish up all these super fish without having to catch the lesser fish? And then he's like, I feel great about myself now. No fuck, because you just beat on some teenage girl. Burn him at the stake like Gilbert with the were-rats.
Please do.
Evil man.
To rewind a little bit, Sun Door 2, Legendary Angler Estelle, is, you guessed it, a fishing minigame. We're told Estelle, when she's got downtime between jobs as a bracer, she likes to go and fish. The first part of this Sun Door sees her at Valeria Lakefront at the little inn where we fished previously in second chapter. She's setting up to fish. She's been having a successful day. Lloyd is also there. Grand Fishmaster Lloyd from the Fisherman's Guild or whatever. He's been fishing out on a boat and has caught absolutely nothing. He's caught nothing. He's caught nothing.
Nothing.
He walks up to us and says, "Oh, blah, blah, blah. Our eyes have met, so now it's time for an angler duel." And Estelle reasonably says, "What the fuck is that?"
Estelle doesn't want to. She gets no choice.
Yeah, she's always a little off-put anytime someone who's enthusiastic about fishing talks to her, even though she likes to fish,
Yeah.
because she sees like a level of mania that she does not possess. But basically he wants to do an angling duel, which is 5 rounds of fishing, where we have to try and fish up the best catches to beat each other and get the most points, because points are how we measure fish in Zemuria.
I think the points are like the length of the fish half the time.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like the length of the fish versus how cool of a fish it is.
Yeah. Now, there is a cute title screen again. I hated it by the end because I had to see it, but it is cute. You know, Estelle's going, Lloyd's challenging her, and she's like, "You're on, Buster."
It's the exact same fishing minigame from second chapter. It has not changed.
Except they've made it harder. It is harder to push in the input.
Yes.
Somehow.
Okay. It's always been hard for me.
I'm sure that they've made it harder because I'm good. Like, I was pretty good at catching fish. I was pretty reliably good at it, and it was so much harder this time.
Yes.
I tried tricks. Andy, who's a listener of the show and in the Discord, has this trick that I tried, and at first it was really helpful. It's where you basically button mash and then slowly slow down the intervals between the time you push each button, because whenever you push, it resets, like it starts the count again until it like has the exclamation point go over. So it should theoretically eventually your thumb, except it stopped working for me, or it would take like 2-3 minutes before an exclamation point even happened. I turned off the background music so that I only had the sound to try and help me. Like, I did a lot.
Yeah, so this is where I ran into troubles. Like, listeners of the show will remember I had nothing but trouble with this fucking minigame last time in second chapter. I had to go through a process of elimination to try and figure out what was actually causing the problem, because, to recap, I am emulating the PC version of these games on an old MacBook through like an emulation shell, and then also outputting the video to a TV and control to a controller hooked up by cable. So there are many, many spots where there could be like a delay or an issue happening. I tried to play this in my normal setup and had absolutely no luck. I lost immediately, of course. I ended up having to unhook from the TV and the controller and just trying to use the keyboard controls on the laptop that has had coffee poured into it and all the keys are sticky as well. It turns out that when the little speech bubbles above Estelle's head go from ... to an exclamation mark, none of that means anything. The only thing you need to care about is the little ding noise that happens after the exclamation mark, or during the exclamation mark, or just before the exclamation mark, or sometimes not at all.
Yeah.
That is the prompt that is meant to tell you when to hit the button. The problem is that sound is very quiet. It's a tone that occurs multiple times in the backing music that they have on the thing, so it's almost impossible to hear through the backing music, or you'll just get a false positive. And the window of button pressing for what counts as part of that beep is so narrow. And so I similarly had to crank down the background music and crank up the sound effects so that I could actually hear the prompt. This is when I learned that the game couldn't care less about any of that, because once you've chosen your rod and chosen your bait, even if you hook the fish, it can still get away.
It can still fail.
It exclusively happens on the high value fish.
Yeah.
So basically you get 5 rounds here, and the strat, as is generally established, is you use some of the lower ranked rods and bait, I keep going to say ammo, to catch a salmon or a trout, which you can then use as bait for the higher value fish, which I can't even remember.
There's 2 of them. There's a snakehead and something with a name I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like a catfish of some kind, like it's a whiskered fish, but I don't remember what it's called.
I can't recall either, because I saw it so infrequently.
I saw it plenty because Lloyd kept catching it.
When you get your salmon or trout and use it, there's then a chance that even if you hook the fish, which is difficult to hook, that it'll just get away, and you've wasted that bait for no reason. Meanwhile, it seems like Lloyd is programmed to mostly mimic you at first and then just come out on top at the end, because he will hook 2 of these fish, where most of the fish are valued for like 50 to 70 points. These ones are like 150 to 200 points each. And so he will just sweep at the end every time. He can miss sometimes as well, but he doesn't very often. And so I played round after round after round of this. The first time that I finally managed to find a rhythm and get it connecting on the right beats to actually hook a fish, and I had a chance to catch him, my laptop shut down.
Oh my god.
I had apparently not noticed that the USB-C power cable was very slightly off, and it had just drained my entire battery trying to do this fishing game. So I had to go back and watch the intro story bit as well, because if you leave the door or reload your save, you have to watch it all again if you haven't beaten the first level. So I just had to watch fucking Estelle reluctantly sign up for this fishing tournament.
Which makes you wonder why there's a title screen for these if you can't go right to the title screen.
Exactly.
So here's some other highlights of why this game is so bad.
Mhm.
On top of everything we've talked about, the animations are slow as shit.
Yep.
And you have to watch the other person do it too. So you can't just like force your way through it to like quickly be like, I'm failing, like I'll just whatever. You have to watch him do it. You have to do it. Turbo speed does not speed it up at all.
Also, I think that turbo speed, if you do turn it on, it actually messes up the rhythm of the button presses, because I found that I was only having success if I kept my hands off the turbo button entirely.
Jeez. Another issue is that once it's become impossible for you to win, you can't quit.
Yeah, you can. If you are on the selection screen for your rod and bait, you can hit escape or equivalent, and it'll say, do you want to just give up?
Oh my god.
But the problem is, if you fail an attempt and you know, okay, well, I don't have enough tries left to come out on top once he starts fishing up his miracle fish, you have to watch them do the next hook and then come back to yourself. So
Okay, I didn't know you could back out of it at all.
it's still not convenient. I realized, and then at a certain point I just stopped caring. I was like, I'm just going to keep pressing the button. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not the reason it's so bad. Yeah, the fact that Lloyd cheats, obviously, is the other. Like, he can miss 3 and then get 2 of the whoppers and still beat you if you've caught the right fish in every one. Also, there's no guarantee that you'll catch, like, smaller fish, the salmon or the trout. The same bait that catches them also catches other stuff. So you could use the right bait you're supposed to every time and just catch some other crap.
Yeah, so you're just luck.
Like, it's just so bad. It's, like, hostile.
It's terrible. I had such a bad time by the time I finally beat this, because I was playing it hunched over, sitting on my bed over my laptop, mashing the one corner of my spacebar that works effectively. And also, the game was rendered at like a quarter the size of my screen. So I was like leaning in and squinting, just because I didn't want to exit out and change the graphic settings just so that I'd have to watch that fucking intro again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I finally did it, I saved the game and I walked away for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 more rounds of this.
I did the second. I didn't do the third. The second's easier, because it's out of 10, so there's a little more room. I still had a hard time with it because I kept having the thing where the fish escapes even though you hook it. But I just decided to do it. Like 4 hours later, I was like, "Fuck, I'll do it." Yeah, you're in the sewers of Grand Cell, our favorite place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a rich lady called Norsh.
Yes. She says, once again, you've met my eyes, so it's time for a fishing duel. 10 rounds. I won't take no for an answer. And I said, too fucking bad, Norsh, because no is the answer you are getting. And I know that beyond there, the 3rd round is a 15-round duel, and I truly cannot think of anything worse to do with my time, given with how slow all of those animations are.
Yeah.
How hard it is to backtrack. It's just insufferable. Like, when you beat the 1st round, you get some money and ingredients. That's it.
Yeah. There's an accessory, I think.
Oh yes, you get the silver lure or something as like proof of beating Lloyd in the first one. And then that is what Norsh sees and says, you've beaten Lloyd, so now I need to beat you.
No, but for the 3rd round, there's an accessory if you win the 3rd round. I haven't done it, so I don't know. It's not worth this. Nothing's worth this, but that's definitely not.
Yeah, it's the fisherman's emblem is apparently what it is.
Right.
Okay, so the fisherman's emblem is an Estelle-only accessory that grants strength plus 50, range plus 1, and move minus 3. So it's actually a pretty shit accessory to begin with.
Yeah, that's not actually very good.
And only Estelle can use it. So great. So sad I missed out on that one. Boo-hoo-hoo. I finished the 1st round of this fishing game and then said, even for podcast consideration, absolutely fuck the rest of that. No. I'm so sorry. I could not put myself through that. I am so sorry you spent so many hours of your life playing this and don't even have long COVID to forget about it this time.
Of my Saturday. 3 hours of my Saturday. I was like, I cried from frustration at a certain point. I was in the Trails chat on the Discord. I was like, I need prayers. I need all of us to find religion just to pray for me through this. Like, I can't handle this. Eventually I got it, but oh my god, it was brutal.
Yeah.
And it was just so much bad RNG. Like, even when it was going perfectly, it took so many rounds of me doing it perfectly before it worked. And it's hard to do it perfectly because it's a bullshit system.
Yeah, complete RNG. It's wild.
It was so bad. I was like, I actually understand why people break their devices when they get mad. Like, I actually understand that level of rage now. I didn't do it, but I felt like, oh, I get why somebody could break their controller. Like, I get why I never understood how people do that. And now I'm like, oh, I get why you would throw it across the room. I get it.
Oh yeah, I could feel the plastic of my PS5 controller creaking under my hands as I squeezed tighter and tighter trying to play this initially. It's a wonder that I didn't punch a hole straight through the keyboard on my laptop after I switched.
All right. 0 stars?
Absolutely. You took the 0 right out of my mouth.
Here's the thing about it. It doesn't even have a story worth like a half point out of a courtesy. It's a few lines of dialogue that just take too long to recite. Like, I love Estelle, but she's not even saying anything interesting or doing anything. There's nothing story-wise to even give it like a crumb for.
Yeah, I didn't see the third one, but the first 2 rounds, someone challenges her to fishing and she's just kind of like, I guess. Even she's not enthusiastic to be here.
She's not. She's like, I didn't even want to do this. The losing feels bad if she loses. And if she wins, she's like, doesn't really care. She's like, okay, I guess I can finish this now. Like, she's like me. She's like, well, I'm glad I'm done. And the second one, all she wants is to escort this lady out of the sewers because it's dangerous and she's a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Estelle is unenthusiastic about something, you know it's bad.
Yeah, you should see that as a big, big warning sign because it is Estelle Bright and you are dimming her light by making her fish.
You are.
So yeah, 0 out of 5 stars, 100%. Thank God that with this Sun Door, we can put to bed forever the Trails in the Sky era fishing minigame.
It's not that different from the Azure Crossbow. It's just that it actually works in the Crossbow games. I don't know why I call it Azure Crossbow. Zero Azure. It just works there. Like, it actually responds. And you get to play it on a device that actually is meant to play the game.
Yeah, I played all the fishing stuff in 0 when I played it on Switch. Never had any of the drama I had with this one, so it is night and day.
Yeah.
I am very happy to put this fishing game to bed and never, ever think about it again, except maybe to give worst mechanic rewards when we do the next Gordies.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know how they're going to do, like, what fishing minigame they're going to do for the second chapter remake, but presumably that's going to be the basis of if they do the third remake, which I assume they will.
I hope so.
I assume it'll be the basis of that, but, like, at least they can do a fishing minigame now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Daybreak and later Cold Steels, they have, like, they have fairly fun fishing minigames, like, ones that are better and that actually, like, involve a skill, a thing you can do, as opposed to just, like, praying and wishing and turning off your background music and listening.
Yeah. You gotta either do skill-based, where it's well-designed, or chance-based, where it's just choices. So, like, I would be happy to either do a fishing minigame where I've got to, time the thingy or whatever, or knowing that this rod plus this bait gives me a chance at these 3 fish, and then it's just chance which result I get. I don't have to hit it at the right time or anything.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 options. Never the twain should meet. Trails in the Sky, the 3rd and 2nd chapter. Okay. Goodbye forever, Sun Door 2. I will not miss you.
I got a pocket full of sun.
4.
I got a love and I know that it's
Sun Door 3.
Sum Door 3.
Woo!
The arena.
The arena! Now this one's fun.
This one's fun because the combat in these games is fun, and it's just the combat in these games.
Yeah.
Which is like, wow, a system that works. It kind of is cheating in that they didn't have to design a mini game. Like, it's just they designed a few rounds of combat. Of course, it's actually good because it's just the thing that we like in these games. But I'll take it.
This is chill because, like, especially in the Tales of RPGs, having an arena fight is a pretty commonly used mechanic.
Yeah.
This is kind of backfilling the thing that was missing in Sky, which is you do the story-based tournament thing, and then that place opens up as, like, a side diversion. It's like, oh, you can come back and do other combat arena challenges.
Yeah.
And we never got that in Sky, because after the event, they sealed the arena for the rest of the game, pretty much.
True. Also, like, everything went to shit. There was, like, a military coup, like, the next day.
Also that, yeah, that's fair.
But it was a missed opportunity to do more with the arena, and they finally did it.
Yeah, it's still pretty simple. You just have 3 tiers of difficulty: normal, hard, and nightmare.
Did you do Nightmare?
I did, yes.
I ran out of time to do Nightmare. I'm going to do it, but I have not yet.
So yeah, we get to the arena. There's no sort of predetermined party systems. You have to bring Jin initially to open the door.
Yes.
But once it's been opened, even the door message changes. Like, the door's already open. Brackets, you don't have to bring Jin. So you walk in, there's fights being organized by...
Gentle Friend.
Yes, the friendly gentle friend.
Gentle Friend. I like the non-binary Gentle Friend terminology. I think that's cute.
Because it's just one of the, like, rich businessman type sprites from memory. Or he's like the mustache man.
Like butlerish, yeah.
So he's like, hey, come fight in these fights.
Mysterious Gentle Friend. Sorry, that's the full name. Mysterious Gentle Friend.
Yes. Must use their correct name. He's also assisted by a purple-haired maid who kind of referees the matches. Again, this one gets a great cover image for the minigame, the arena.
Great cover image.
It says, all of LaBelle's finest have gathered for battle. Feel the sting of the Swordmaster's blade. Ha!
And it's like an arcade fighting game style.
Yeah, and it's touching on like Fist of the North Stars art style, I think is the reference they're making.
Yeah.
Because you've got like Giga Chad Kevin at the front with his muscles just bursting. You know what? It kind of looks a little bit like our cover art, like the reinterpretation of Kevin's outfit on me.
You know what? A little bit.
I wonder if Alyssa used this as reference.
You've got... Jin looks ridiculous. His face is absurd.
He's like Super Saiyan charging up with his hair spiking out. Luve looks wild. He looks like the North Star guy. Just this very, very blocky face. Beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm. Estelle looks great, but exactly like herself. Just like a nice looking. Joshua looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
The shadows on his face make it look like he has a big scar, and his hair is like... His hair has no volume, which is usually Joshua's hair is all about the volume, but...
Plastered down, yeah. And I do love that Olivier is sort of posing very dramatically with the gun, but you can also see his abs through his royal costume.
Yes.
He's so swole. It's great. It's like very kind of generic fighting game stereotype. It looks amazing. I'm a little disappointed the art doesn't change from round to round. None of them do, except for the fishing game changes because your opponent changes, but it's just like swapping out one person.
Yeah.
Basically, we can participate in 3-round combats with a party of our choice, which we'll touch on it when we get into finale proper, but you do gain full party control at this point, so you can change every member of your party out. There's no required member.
So Kevin doesn't need to be there.
The first combat round is pretty simple.
Team Men in Black.
Yes, Team Men in Black. We've got some of the blade and gun Men in Black guys. Pretty easy to take down.
Oh, fine. Team Creepy Sheep.
Yeah, the second round is just a bunch of sheep like we fought for... Am I thinking of this, or am I thinking of Sky Remake where they had one with a whole bunch of sheep?
No, they have them in Sky. I think in both FC and SC, but maybe just SC, but they definitely have them.
Yeah, where they have just like an overwhelming mass of sheep, yeah.
Yeah, and they fuse. They do a fusion dance.
That's right. God, that was terrible.
They don't do that here.
Thank God. There's more than enough to deal with already. Between, what is it, the creepy sheep, the pink sheep, and the black sheep. And then our final round, wouldn't you fucking know it, it's Gilbert Stein in his G-Apache once again, with some other archaisms.
Boss fight of the year 2025. Gilbert Stein. Give him his credit. Give him his due. You made your bed, gotta lie in it.
And he gave me his due because we get another one of these emblem accessories when we beat him, which is the Fool's emblem.
Yes.
Which is a read considering that there is a guy who's literally called the Fool.
Yes. Though it could mean that he got it from Campanella.
True. It's like, maybe take this as my emblem, and it was actually just a prank on him. It's like, look, I'm the Fool.
There's no dialogue or like story stuff with Gilbert being here, by the way. He's not like, there's not like a bit to it. He's just there.
He does have some voiced line when you kill him, but I didn't catch it because it was mixed in with all the other sound effects. It was probably him just being like, I suck.
Oh, no.
Once you beat that, you then open up the option to enter the hard mode arena, but you do need a tournament invitation, which was found in a random chest at some point that I don't recall.
We also get the reward, a quartz called Physical for the first round.
Oh, yes. Which makes you more resistant to physical attacks, but weaker to magic, I believe. Because then there's like a magic equivalent that's the other way around.
Yeah, spiritual, yeah.
Oh, so our tournament invitation for the hard round is in the Looking Glass dungeon. So it was in one of the chests in there.
Right.
It was the chest that had the chest message I liked back in the day. What do a shirtless guy and what you're looking at now have in common? A bare chest. It was that chest.
Yes, that's right.
I love that this item list on the wiki tells me what the matching chest message is. What a wonderful resource.
Thank you, wiki people. Then, yes, so we do the hard round. And again, like, there's no story intro or anything. Same thing. We just go kind of like, oh, you want to do another? Great, let's go.
Yep.
We first up was...
some Jaegers and Steel Cougars.
Yep. Who are tougher than ones... Like, the Cougars can just, like, take you out. They have, I think, an insta-kill move.
At this point, because I was afraid of having to watch cutscenes again, I just brought in my one team and just kept going in the fights. So the first round of combats on normal mode, I mostly wiped people with S-Crafts, and then I was using the hard mode rounds to build up their CP again ahead of the final fight,
Yeah.
which worked out pretty well because I had all the gladiator accessories on, so people were like chalking it up really quickly.
Yeah. Round 2 is a bunch of archaisms. They're the Team Rheingold, they're called. They're all like yellow or gold, I guess. Archaisms. They kind of look like the orbital gear, but without a person in them.
And I think they're the explodey kind, so you've just got to be careful where they go off.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, because this is where I learned how the mechanics of the tournament worked better, because I got to the end of that round of the fight, and in that last explosion, they knocked 3 of my 4 party members down to minimal health, and I was like, oh god, I'm going to have to start the next round, like, healing them before I can even attack. But it actually,
Yeah.
it doesn't recharge your EP or CP, but it does recharge your HP.
I think it does EP, but not CP.
Oh, okay, maybe I missed that.
Because in the rule, I did read the rules on it, and I did say that on the title screen. Because I'm a freak. I'm like I always have to read the rules. I have to read the instruction manual.
Okay, cool.
So that's good. And then the third round is fun.
Yes, from one of our previous doors, it's a little baby dragon. It's Tiny Ragnard, which is what he's actually labeled as in the game.
Chibi Ragnar in Japanese.
Hmm.
And the host says, what may be an ancient dragon, Team Baby Dragon.
So yeah, it's him and a bunch of those little seahorse guys. They're the status effect guys. So again, just mostly wiped them out and then just chipped away at him, readying myself for the next battle.
Mm-hmm. Ragnar has some breath. He can freeze you and stuff. Like, he has some good moves.
Yeah.
But he's still very doable.
Yeah, I was very happy. I had Kevin in my party for this, and he had one of the accessories that blocks all status effects.
Oh, the Grail,
Grail Locket. So he was thankfully defended against that. Yeah, otherwise they just kind of become a bother with all those seahorse guys, as well as the freezing breath attack. In fact, this whole round, the hard mode, is full of a lot of status nuisances in the different fights. They all want to, like, freeze you or block you from using moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get for a hard mode challenge. It's not something the game leans on heaps in fights. Like, they don't really do that except in boss fights where they want you to know you have a strategy. But it's just very full on if you're not prepared for it.
I feel like this game, like, third had a lot more fights that were dependent on, or like based around status mechanics than FC and SC. Like, it's been more common in this game.
Definitely. I think, like, the higher prevalence of dungeon crawling just means they had to find more ways to use variety, which means leaning into their own systems more, which is good.
Yeah.
But also we know that the Sky games are very experimental in what they let out the door. So it could have gone really bad. And I can see this fight being incredibly frustrating if you were unprepared and unlucky.
Or and on higher difficulties. I'm sure on hard or nightmare or whatever it's harder, but they're fine for this. And then you'll have to tell us about Nightmare, because I haven't gotten to do that yet. I spent all those hours on that fucking fishing game, and it took up some of my time.
Yeah, so for the third round, the Nightmare round, you need another tournament invitation, but it's actually in the dungeon that we're doing in the next main episode, the Abyss. So I ended up plumbing all the way to the bottom of the Abyss because I realized it's a dungeon that doesn't have incremental save points. If you warp it, you have to do the whole thing again. So I just committed and went down the whole way with the team I was planning to use for Nightmare to give them a bit of leveling up at the same time. And then the tournament invitation is like on the third level of 4 of this dungeon.
You did get the star door down there, right? So you can warp back?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. I was going to feel so bad if you'd missed getting that warp spot.
By the time I realized I was like 3/4 of the way down the dungeon anyway, and that I would have to repeat it if I came back, I was like, I'll just finish the job while I'm here. So we'll cover that next week's on the main episode.
Yeah.
But that's where you've got to go if you want to do this door and you're playing sort of concurrently with what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I went and hunted down this second tournament invitation and brought it back. Oh, I should also say that the hard mode victory prize is spirituality quartz, which is the reverse of the physicality quartz. So
Let's get spiritual.
they suit up your defense for one at the expense of the other. The nightmare round is full of familiar faces.
Oh, yes, I did remember that.
Also worth saying, yes, you should bring Annalise along with that Genu sword equipped from her Star Door? Star Door? Was it a Star Door?
Yes, as a starter.
Because completely undisclosed by the game, if you bring Annalise with Genu and win this nightmare round, it will make Genu more powerful as a sword. So it actually is then the best sword in the entire game, from what I understand.
Yes.
Round one of this combat is against team, I can't remember what they call them, like team old guys or something. And it is Morgan from the army. It is Philip
Yes.
from the butlery. And Duke Dunan from the nuisance land.
Mm.
Surprisingly, Dunan is a little bit more robust here compared to what we've experienced of him in battle previously.
That's crazy. He learned to fight.
He's still just kind of an annoyance. He does some status effect stuff. He's kind of like blocks you from using magic or crafts or something if you give him the chance. And the other two just kind of double team you because they are legitimate fighters. It's not too bad. It's just about picking a target and getting rid of them. The guides recommended getting rid of Morgan or Philip as kind of the heavy hitters, but I got rid of Dunan first. A, because it's funny, and B, because he was the most annoying. Like, I can take a hit, but like dealing with status effects just wastes time and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a pain.
So I took him out, and he just goes, ugh. Oh, it doesn't even have a cool line or anything.
Shame.
Yeah, wiped them all out. Second round, you're fighting against that tank with the name that's so easy to pronounce that Blue Blanc pulled out in second chapter from the docks, the Orgueil.
Oh, yeah, the Orguri.
The Orgueil.
Orgoy.
The Mark II. So it's like a souped up version of that. It's like blue and purple or something. I don't actually know if I got any screenshots at this point because I was too busy having fun fighting. It's just like a recolor skin of that guy. Nothing too dangerous with this guy. He can hit kind of hard, but it can mute you from using arts with jammer missiles. But it's really slow, so you can just kind of like wail on it. Like I said, I've been sort of strategically recharging my CP in rounds of this fight because I managed to stagger it so not everyone was sort of hitting 100, 200 at the same time. And that let me get things sort of on track, which is good because round 3 out of 4 for this fight, because this one has 4 rounds, is a pair of martial artists who do love to hit hard. It's Walter the Direwolf and Killiker who are teaming up.
Oh, my.
I think they call them Team Fight School or something. I didn't actually jot down the names. Yeah, so they pull out all of their cool moves. Killiker's S-Craft continues to be wicked, where she summons 2 giant pink Chinese dragons to absolutely decimate your shit.
Right.
Which she almost did. Like, she honestly took me closer to wiping anyone out than Walter did.
Wow. Go Killica.
And this was another one where I'd knocked my health down to absolute scraps. And having done that dungeon in between to go get the invitation, I'd forgotten about the healing. So I was like, oh god. But then everyone got healed, so that was fine.
So twice you got to have the joy of discovering the healing.
And then our final round of the Nightmare Tournament is Team Blade,
Yeah.
which is made up of Luve the Blade Lord and Cassius Bright the Divine Blade.
That's a terrifying combo, just to even think about.
It's a tough combo. Like, wild to think of them working together. But yes, they are both absolute hammers. Although, ironically, Luve is a lot more beatable in this one than he was in previous fights, especially compared to Cassius. So, yeah, I just had to lock in and really just smash them with S-Crafts. With Kevin with all his like CP recharging stuff on at the moment, it's like I opened with his Spear of took the time to use everyone else's S-Crafts, and by the time I got back to Kevin, he was ready to go again. So it's just like, when you panic about a spider and you're just like throwing poison at it over and over, going, die, 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 don't even give it a chance. That is kind of the technique I was going for with this fight.
I love that Cassius and Luvi are your spiders.
They're equally terrifying. And we got some spiders over here, let me tell you.
Oh, God.
But yes, after a slightly extended battle, they did actually wipe a couple of my party members. They're down to 0 during this fight that had to recharge them because there was no way I was coming out at the end of this fight without everyone getting the XP from it. No way in hell.
No way.
Also, there are warnings about this fight in walkthroughs and everything because the graphic effects for one of Cassius's abilities can actually crash the game.
That's insane.
He has an armor rend ability, and apparently it's like a known culprit for causing freezes. Just something in the engine can lock up. So all the guys are like, save before the nightmare.
Cassius is actually too powerful for the game. Like, quite literally.
Yeah. You've heard of S breaks. This is a PC break.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, that did not happen to me. Although I would have been a lot happier to lose the game at this point compared to during the fishing minigame. I will say that. But when you do finally come out on top, you get the Soul Quartz, which is a really cool quartz that does something.
I'm sure it does.
It was also really nice in this fight to bring along the emblems from beating Cassius and Luve previously as the accessories I had equipped.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
Because they are really good gear. They're like...
They are good, but also that's nice and, like, poetic.
Yeah, so it's like, I've already beaten you once. Here's the emblem. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, okay. So the Soul Quartz is actually a pretty cool one. It makes it so that EP is automatically converted to CP during battle.
Right.
If you don't have enough CP for a move, you can pull from your EP instead.
I remember this, yes.
Very helpful if you've got a physical-led fighter like a Jin or something where magic really doesn't matter to them, because even if you give them magic, they're useless at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an extra resource. And there's some really cool, like, last-minute quartz coming through at this point in the game.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff.
There's another one. I think I found it on my way down through the Abyss. Swiftness?
Yes, that's right.
Swiftness just makes it so every battle is an advantage battle.
I think our swiftness is before the abyss, because I already had swiftness.
Oh, it's from one of the Sun Doors, sorry, yeah.
All right.
Just swiftness just makes it so every encounter is an advantage encounter, like other than boss battles, which is fantastic for... we'll get into it in the main episode, but having advantage counters on a dungeon designed just for leveling, very convenient.
So convenient. You don't have to, like, try to walk around or, like, time how you approach enemies or anything. So nice.
But yeah, that was the end. There's no, like, closing cutscene for the arena or anything. They just say, hey, you've beaten everything. You can come and do it again if you want. I assume you just get, like, a cash reward each time after that instead of items or anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was quite happy to one and done it, having beaten the shit out of the greatest fighters in the world multiple times now.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. So, for Sum Door 3, the arena...
How would you rate it?
I actually really like this one. This is, like, a nice, concise little combat thing. I mean, if it was like a Tales of game, I'd expect a lot more sort of customized fights, you know, use specifically these party members, don't use craft, this, that, or the other. But it's just like a concise little minigame as a distraction towards the end. This was great. It feels like a good skill check for you. It's nice to like face off against some enemies that you've seen before, so you can really like feel the growth of your characters.
I'm sure it's harder on higher difficulties.
Oh, for
like
sure, yeah.
for both of us are not. Neither of us are at the top difficulties.
Yeah, it definitely feels like scalable because I did feel like an increase in challenge going from one round to the next in the arena, even on easy mode, easy baby, tiny baby mode that I love. So I can see how hopefully that would scale to your skill and sort of the effectiveness of combat in the higher difficulties. Anything that's called Nightmare, you can't really be too mad if it's not balanced, right? Like, it's Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give this, just because it would be nice to have some of those custom fights or like a little bit of story to wrap around this the way some of the other doors have. I'm going to give it a 4.5 suns.
Especially given the unexpected pair-ups. Like, it would have been fun to have some dialogue of the two of them pairing up.
Like a flavor line or two, because like all of the recreations of real people we've seen have had some sense of agency they've been able to communicate. So even just like a reaction of Cassius and Luve being paired up would be fun.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I hope for in a third remake, if/when it comes along down the line.
For sure.
So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for me.
I'll give it 4. I liked it a lot, but I don't think I'm at 4.5 level. I think I'll give it just a 4.
Okay. Maybe I only feel that way because it's a combat arena challenge where I actually finished everything, and so I feel like a big, powerful boy, but I'm going to take the win.
I think it's fun. It's just, it's not something I would be going to seek out past having done. You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Like, for me in a minigame, I think in terms of me thinking about what I would want to give, a minigame that I would be wanting to go back to play, even if it wasn't just once to get through it all, I would...
Yeah.
That's where I would get it higher. I think it's the only good minigame in this, and it's not just passable, it's good. So that's already pretty high. I could also be tainted right now by my frustration with having played them all today.
Fair.
Like, there could be a bit of that. But yeah.
It does have like that added little bonus of souping up the Genu sword for Annalise, but it is kind of rough that it doesn't announce that in any way.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I assume even if you don't bring her and you beat Nightmare, they're not like, bring Annalise next time.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. Yeah, I guess the other reason I'm not giving it more than a 4 is because it doesn't do anything new. Like, there's no innovation.
Yeah, fair.
It's just the combat. It's a great combat system, but it's exactly the combat system, so that's why I'm going to leave it where it is. This is a pretty high review, especially given the justified hateration of this episode.
Yeah, it's swinging wide in our scoring in a way that we have not for any of the other doors.
Mm-hmm.
But that is Sun Door 3. Shall we move on to the fourth of the doors of Sun?
I think we shall.
Here comes the sun.
Door, 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 door.
Here comes the sun.
Door number 4.
This is
The Casino, Gambler Jack.
Gambling and Rambling. So this game is a direct sequel to the Gambler Jack books that you can collect in second chapter.
Mhm.
I can give like a tiny summary of just like what's happened to lead to this point. Hal, which is how I think they pronounce it, is the daughter of a famous gambler called King who died, and she thinks Jack's responsible for that because he lost his life in a game against Jack.
Oh, okay.
Whoever lost forfeited their life, something like that. And she finds out that her father was being blackmailed by the guy who runs the tournament to throw it and die to save her. And Jack was the one who he played, but Jack is like, I never really beat your dad. Like, I couldn't have beat him. He was better than me. And then Hal realizes that Jack wasn't the bad guy all along. This all comes out at like some big poker tournament. She loses, and Jack is allowed to get any prize, and he asks for her, but it's just to set her free from these people who were gonna like take her into indentured servitude or something. If not, she's like 15, like in third. Like the version of her you see there was supposed to be like 15 because she's like 14, 15 when the book ends.
Yeah.
He's like kind of taking her in as like not exactly adoptive dad, but like her adoptive guardian type thing after all this drama. So they were enemies, but now they're buddies.
Yeah, and you get a nice little intro where we're told that this is taking place in Calvard, in an eastern city.
A city called the Eastern Quarter, as they put it.
And it's a ramshackle bar on the north side of this eastern quarter. And for those familiar with the later games, we do visit this city in the Calvard arc of games, the Daybreak games. It is the city of Longport. And this is the eastern quarter of Longport. And I love that in the map of the Eastern Quarter, they do make sure that this bar is on the northernmost point of the area, facing onto the water.
Yes.
Nothing beyond that. I will just say, while you're setting up to play the game, you're sort of introduced to, I say Hallie. I don't know if they've had it voiced one way or the other in the Daybreak games.
I think I heard someone say refer to Hal at one point, like, because people talk about the books and stuff at certain points in the game. But I like Hallie.
Jack and Hallie rolls off the tongue better than Jack and Hal, I think.
It does. It's better.
Hallie introduces herself to you. You're sort of an unnamed him in this thing. It's kind of played like a visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
You come in, you're asking to gamble against Jack. And she says, oh, nah, he's not into it.
He's hungover.
But tell you what, I'll ask him again if you beat me. In the meantime, let me serve you our special. And she brings you Tom Yum Goong, which also in those Calvard Arc games where you visit Longport, that is the food item that is sold at that bar location.
Yeah, it's a fun touch.
In Daybreak 1, you can get the Dragon's Tom Yum Goong. And then in Daybreak 2, you can have the Master's Tom Yum Goong. So I just love that they've kept that consistent from this story to that. Because that is a big break in time.
Yeah.
They're that dedicated to keeping the world lore the same. But yeah, I immediately went up and looked up the articles. I think the bar is called Gambler as well. Gambler Bar. I was like, what do they serve? What do they serve? What is the food item you can buy in there? I was literally pulling up walkthroughs for Daybreak to find out what items you could buy at that chapter. Because I just wanted to know if they'd kept it consistent.
I love that. I love that you were that excited.
Yes, payoff. Which will make it very exciting to eventually revisit Daybreak and be like, oh yeah, it's that soup. But yes, you get the recipe. You can also challenge her to a game of her choice, because apparently the rules in the Gambler Bar are challenger chooses to be challenger. The recipient of the challenge gets to choose the game. So she says, let's play blackjack. And it's just regular blackjack.
This game works exactly the way blackjack worked in SC if you played it ever in the Laventar Casino, which you had to do to get the last chapter of Gambler Jack. Obviously, any kind of gambling game in a video game is gonna be let down by the fact you can't bluff. You're not reading someone's face. There's none of the actual social dynamics of that. If you don't know how blackjack works, you're basically trying to get cards equal to 21 in their number, so like that add up to as close as possible. If you go over 21, you bust. You bust.
Yeah. Yep.
And you fail. So that's the idea. And I think it's, what is it? Is it best out of...
Best out of 7. So you have to win 4 out of 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate they've made this a little bit easier. There's no betting or anything, so you're not actually gambling. You're just like seeing how the cards go.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that they have a little counter for each player showing what the sum of the cards is. Because if you're not familiar with
Yes.
blackjack, things like an ace being a 1 or an 11 could trip you up. But the game sort of tracks it for you and makes it very easy to picture where you're at, as well as comparing to the opponent's cards if you want to do like card counting type stuff to figure out the odds of receiving an additional card. They also have, I think, an additional rule here, which is if you somehow reach 21 across a full 7 card draw, because the most cards you can draw is 7, that's an extra special blackjack and would win. I played enough of this game, even just getting through this round. I don't know how that would ever happen.
No.
Good luck to whoever does it. God, I hope there's not an achievement tattooed to it or anything.
Jesus.
You just gotta win 4 out of 7 rounds against her. If you lose, you do have an option to lower the difficulty, which I think just improves like the RNG in your favor to eventually come out on top.
Would have been nice on the fishing minigame if they gave you that option, huh?
Huh? Although I will point out, there is some cute little flavor dialogue from Hallie depending on the outcomes of the games. My favorite was when
Yes.
we both went over 21 and her line was, "Oh man, did we bust at the same time? That's crazy."
That's great. I did not get that ever, but I appreciate that. I appreciate knowing that exists.
It's a cute minigame. I like that it's very fast, it's very snappy. There's no delay like there was with the fishing game.
Mm-hmm.
Slap, 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 cards, done, easy to do another round.
Yes, so far we're doing fine. And then, if we beat her, she's like, okay, well, I'll go and do what I said. I'll go wake up Jack from his hangover and try and get him to play you.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to get Jack. Jack shows up. He's like, you don't look like much. Did you really beat Hallie? But Jack decides poker is the game we're going to go. That's his best game.
Yeah, bizarro poker though,
Yeah.
because they don't say it unless you check the rules, but it is sort of weird custom poker rules instead.
It's bad.
I don't know if this is a known variant of poker and they just haven't put the name to it, but basically there are 3 cards pulled in the center that are a shared selection, so
Yeah.
both players can choose to build a hand using partly those 3 cards. You get dealt 3 cards, you can hold, you can hand some on the back. So you end up between the shared pool and your own cards, 6 total cards to pick a 5-card hand. It is all normal poker hands, so that stuff is the same.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little confusing if you don't read the rules like a good Lex and just start playing like a bad Matt and figure out what the fuck is happening.
In fairness, this is almost exactly what it was in SC, except for they have a system now, a star system, where you have 3 stars, Jack has 4. Anytime you win, you get to steal one of his stars, which was annoying because you can win 6 in a row and then lose, and then suddenly you have more that you have to win, like until you finish it. Like, it can go on a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's exactly the same. They improve on this in later games. They do a variant of this where you have more than 6 cards to choose from to make 5 cards, which is way better when you have a little more like to choose from.
Yeah, it's very easy to get caught in a tug of war. Like, I definitely was stuck for a long time because just through luck of the draw and the limited hand selection you have to build a hand from, it's very easy to get sort of stuck in the middle range of stars, just going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
They've tried to alleviate it a little bit with 2 mechanics. You've got the option to raise, where you bet 2 stars instead of 1.
Yeah.
But you have to do that before you sort of draw any of your new cards, obviously. So it can be a bit of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You also have the chance to fold, which isn't really folding.
Yeah.
It's swapping your cards for the shared pool and then drawing new cards.
Yeah.
It's just that if you see, oh, like the shared pool is a really good starting point, like it's 3 of a kind or something crazy, you could grab that instead. You can only do that once per entire round of the game though. So if you do get stuck in that tug of war for 20 minutes, like I did,
Yeah.
it can be easy to burn that and then wish you hadn't. I used it once and it didn't really seem like a useful mechanic. It's just luck of the draw as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like again, it's fairly snappy. It's easy to play through this game. It's just like pray to RNGesus and hope for the best.
It's so RNG. I enjoy later versions of poker in this series a lot more because you have more cards to choose from, so you can actually try to have some strategy to it. But even those, like, you're usually going for a 2-pair. Like, it's not that sophisticated. And because they're doing the shared thing. And what really kills this one is the whole tug of war of it all. You do really have to be raising in order to actually have any kind of advantage.
Yeah, you're just at the whims of the game, really. At least the activity I was doing in between was fun. I didn't feel like I was being slighted when I lost because it's just like, oh,
True.
I got a bad hand. That's fine. I got enough good hands. And again, this thing has the lower difficulty and try again option if you do get beaten. It's unclear what that does.
Yes, but I was too stubborn to use that.
I actually did do it because I just wanted to see what would happen. Like I went back in afterwards, played a shitty hand, and it seemed like I was kind of getting better hands, but it's still a combination of observation and luck, what cards you get to know what hands you can build.
Yeah.
You can't bring up the hand guide mid-play, which is something you could do in like a Yakuza game or whatever. They always give you access to that, especially with stuff like Mahjong, where they know a lot of white players are playing it who don't know how Mahjong works, so you can bring up
Yeah.
the stuff at any time. But poker's are sort of universal enough. And you're right, it's generally just pairs or three of a kind if you're lucky.
Yeah.
I got a couple of flushes, which is nice, where you just have cards all of the same face.
I got a full house at one point
Nice.
and a straight, which was fun.
Yeah, it's tough to get with so few cards to choose from. Unless you get, like 3 diamonds and there's one in the shared pool to begin with, you're not really reliably able to predict a flush.
Yeah.
But once you beat it, Jack's like, wow, you're better than I thought. Good job. I guess come back if you want to play again, but we're kind of done here. And that's the end of the little story bit.
Yeah. And you can come back and it'll be harder, but that's kind of all that there is to it. Like there's a harder version of it.
The prizes aren't that great either.
Other than you got the recipe, you got a recipe. That was fun.
The recipe for Tom Yum Goong and a little bit of cash, $5,000. And then when you beat Jack, you just get an upgraded Mirage ring, which we've already got upgraded Mirage ring, so it's not really that impressive.
You can get those easy. I mean, I guess you do unlock this. I think you get access to this door before you get access to the upgraded Mirage rings.
Oh, okay, timing wise, yeah.
It's not a good enough thing that getting it early is a huge advantage. Like, you don't need it that much.
Yeah. You also get $10,000, which at this stage in the game at least is nothing. Like the end game weapon options for everybody cost more than that to begin with, so it's more of a pittance than anything. But
Yeah,
that's okay because the next Sundor promises to earn us a lot more money potentially.
potentially.
But before we move on, how would you rate Sundor for the Casino Gambler Jack?
I guess maybe like I don't know, like 2.5 maybe. Like the blackjack is fine, but it's nothing fun or special. Like it's not something I'm going to seek out to do for fun.
Yeah.
The poker is just so RNG, right? The story is cute. Like most of the points is because the story. It's cool seeing these characters who you've read about if you've read the book, but you haven't seen them. You get a little sequel to the book series. That's the book series that was banned in Arabonia that Olivia was talking about last game, by the way.
Yep.
It's also fun that this is our first glimpse into Calvard, like the first time we see something taking place in Calvard, whether it's fictional or real or whatever. Like it's our first glimpse into Calvard of any kind, which is fun.
Yeah.
But I think the minigame itself, it takes forever and it's frustrating
Fair enough.
because of the RNG. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Balatro again recently because I have it on my phone, and I'm really bad at putting it down once I start it. So just going from Balatro to like this poker minigame makes it extra bad in comparison.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. I think I'm going to go with a 3 for me. Like, I actually found this pretty enjoyable, even though it was a little bit meh, getting caught in the middle with the poker game. I was just listening to a podcast and having a nice time.
I should have multitasked, honestly.
I like the little hint of Calvard and that I know that it pays off, that this tiny bit of world building does carry through to the game's 10 games on. So yeah, I think 3 out of 5 suns for me. That leaves us with just one more sun door to cover.
He said, son,
Door.
you grow up, would you be the
Sun Door. Number 5.
This one's wild.
This one is wild.
So, it's in the Black Ark.
Yep.
The darkness is lit by Septium's light, and that light shall act as a guide to all who have lost their way. Present to me all of the mystical gems that contain that light, only then shall the door open. This means all of the rank 5 quartz that have special names.
Yeah, so there's like one that's excluded, I think the time gem maybe, but every other one you need, which is
Yeah, because you get time for this.
topaz, water, sapphire, ruby, emerald, wind, wood, onyx, gold, silver, and mirage. And they have to either be equipped to your active party or in your inventory. So if you've got them equipped to someone else back at base, they don't count.
Ah, I didn't know that. I luckily didn't have to worry about that. I guess because I take everything off everyone else.
Yeah, same. I only ever equip my main party, so there's never a risk of that.
Yeah.
But once you have all those quartz, you are allowed entrance into Sundor 5, where we are introduced to Campanella's quiz game, better known as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? which is an excellent pun.
It's so Campanella's talking to you directly, which is fun because obviously we've seen like Mysterious Gentlefriend talks to you directly, and Holly and Jack are talking to someone who's clearly like talking to you, but you're clearly someone, right? You're not like they're not talking through the game to the player of the game.
Yeah.
But this is Campanella, who's like a known character who's just talking, breaking the fourth wall directly, which is fun and very like tracks for Campanella.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he bows. He's like, "Oh, let's have fun, whatever." And is like, we're going to have a pop quiz about the Trails games, which is also fun that Campanella knows that it's the Trails games. Campy's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so it's called. So he calls himself Campy, which I like because I call him that in all my notes.
Me too, yeah. I've been calling him Campy for a long time, so it was a real nice payoff to see that in a previous chapter, Ren does refer to him as Campy, and now here he's doing it himself as well. So the nickname has stuck. I also appreciate the subtitle of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire being Trials in the Sky. Very clever. We've got a double pun.
Yeah, that's cute.
The cover art for this minigame is also great. We've got Campanella as a game show host, because as he finishes his introduction, he's like, I've got to go get dressed for this. And as his three competitors on the quiz show, we have a creepy sheep, Estelle, and Weissman the Faceless.
Weissman, who's looking really enthused. He's got his glasses on. They're like round glasses here, like comically round as opposed to his normal ones. He's smiling like the happiest smile we've ever seen on his face. There are all these like cute chibi like character, like they're very cute. And Estelle is holding a card with a picture of a shining palm on it, which is cute. Like she's presenting it like that's her answer. Yeah,
it's a lovely little piece of art. And what this minigame is a little interesting because it's actually pretty hard.
It is really hard.
It's a 10-question quiz where each question you have 7 seconds to pick an answer. As you're deciding, your points are ticking down from 7 seconds down to 0, and whatever seconds you have remaining, 3.45 seconds or whatever, you get 3,450 points. So the quicker you answer and the more correctly you answer, the better your score. 3 strikes and you're out.
So that's 3 wrong answers or 3 running out of time.
Yeah, you'll just fail out of the game. You don't get to complete it. And then, when you reach the end, your earnings are based on how high your score is.
Yes.
Because, despite the game being called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it's very hard to make $1 million.
Yes. It's rigged.
Actually, you can't even earn 1 million mirror in this because the top prize is 10,000 mirror when your score is 400 to 630,000 points, which I did not achieve. I think the highest rank I got was like 7.
Yeah, I did not think you could actually get a millennium.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Campanella would claim that the word million isn't in there. A millionaire, just somebody with mira.
I guess can't be.
But I think he knows what he's doing. Anyway, he has different outfits for each round also.
I love it.
And the questions are, there's 4 difficulties, right?
Yes. So there is normal, hard, brutal, and maniac. Maniac wasn't actually in the original Sky the Third. It's something that came from the Evolution versions of the games, which were like a remake on PS Vita. And then they backported the Maniac difficulty into the third PC port, which is what we're playing.
Right.
That's kind of why the prize for Maniac doesn't really pay off higher than the Brutal one as well, because it's kind of an add-on. But essentially, each round, it's pulling from a pool of 30 questions to choose 10 for your round. And they also jumble up the answers order, so you can't just sort of physical memory where the answer's going to be for each one. You do actually need to read.
Yeah.
And these questions, for the normal round at least, vary a little bit. They've got stuff like what's someone's last name, who plays the harmonica, what's the name of the big lake in the middle of the country. But then there's also some tougher ones, like there was one that got me... Oh, there's a couple of them actually in the overall question list, but they ask where each of the particular tetracyclic towers are.
Yes.
Ambil, Esmeles, Carnelia, and Saphel. Didn't get one of those right a single time because it's just too quick of a time to think that deeply.
Oh, no.
It's mostly easy-ish stuff. It's stuff you would pick up surface level of the game. It's a lot of proper nouns, locations, and I think maybe the hardest one that they threw at me when I did win this round was... What's the first name of Estelle's mum? Which is a very small piece of information that you only saw like one time.
Right.
Yeah. So, first round, not too bad. It's more about getting used to the mechanics of the game than anything else.
Yeah, and especially since you get 3 freebie, like you can get it wrong 3 times, it's like very reasonable to be able to get 7 of 10 right.
Exactly, yeah. And it's very quick to kind of get back in and restart the game. And just through repetition, you'll start to like store the information long enough in your brain to pass this, not necessarily retain it forever.
Yes. So we didn't say what camp he's wearing, just that he's got a different outfit each time.
So for the normal round, he's wearing a very much like a flat top hat, kind of barbershop quartet almost outfit, striped pants with a white blazer. He looks very much like a game show host.
Yes, he's got stars on a purple shirt that like is what he's wearing on the red bow tie. And then when you win, he turns over the flat top hat and there's a palm in it, which is a cute touch.
You also, when you beat that round, you get the reward of Septium bullets, which is a attack food item.
Mm-hmm.
And can then move on to the hard round, where Campanella is dressed up as a schoolboy for some reason.
Yes.
He's holding a test that he's gotten 100% marks on, so good for him. He's a little smarty. This round of questions I found, it's a lot of number-based stuff, especially.
Yeah.
Like, enforcer numbers is a big one that they throw a lot of at you. How many monarchs has Liberl had total? Which, again, would be a thing you'd maybe seen one time.
It's crazy. And, like, in a book. Like, I don't think it's in, like, main dialogue.
Colors of airships. But yeah, like, dates. They also ask, what was the model number of the new orbital airship engine developed?
Yeah.
That's, like, a great one, because why would you remember which one it was? That's kind of it. Just, like, more specific information and minutiae about, like, secondary characters, stuff like that.
Things like, what was General Morgan's daughter, who you met in FC, briefly named?
Or, like, which fishing title does a particular member of the fishing guild hold? So I pretty much just cast Master Fisher every time and hoped that I would get it right eventually. Also, Campanella does have, like, a cute little trivia fact about each thing. Not that you have time to really read them, because you're too busy trying to win this thing. But yeah, it's just like a bunch of trivia around the series, or focused on the particular question he's asking.
Or just some funny comment. Like, he makes fun of the fact that Agate doesn't even take off his bandana going into the hot spring. Or he calls out the fact that Janus Academy doesn't offer science or math class.
I think, like, this was probably, like, a nice breath of fresh air for the chest message writing team to, like, get a second wind on writing fun facts about this game.
Yes.
But yes, hard round was a lot tougher. I had to do a bit more memorization for this one and luck of the draw on questions.
Yeah.
But when you win, you get the enigmatic stew, which is just another recipe.
Then, for brutal, I think is next, right?
Yes.
We get another outfit, which is, I think, like I can't remember the name of it, but like a traditional Chinese robe of some kind.
Yeah, I
know that I know the name of these kinds of robes, and I just don't remember.
I think it's a changshan. This is like a tunic with pants underneath. Look, the closest affiliation I can make based on my limited cultural experience is it's the outfit the boy wears from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Oh yeah. Please you know what? Actually, let's put this as a call to the listener.
Yeah.
Whoever out there knows the actual what kind of robe this is, what the name of it, it's bugging both of us. So let us know by email or social media or Discord, just however all the ways that we'll spiel off at the end of the episode that you can get in touch with us.
Please educate us.
But this one's white with sort of dark, like blue-gray trimmings and sort of gold patterning. And he's holding, I think it looks like he's holding a fan.
I actually like the design across this quote-unquote changshan, which is, it is a snake wrapping around his like sleeves and his body, but it does actually finish with the snake biting its own tail, because it's an Ouroboros changshan.
Oh, it is an Ouroboros. Okay, I didn't realize that was a snake because I'm bad visually. We know I'm here trying to describe outfits to people. We know that I don't know what people wear.
Yeah, it's a very cute little touch. Like, you can see it biting like right sort of over his like torso, and it's only properly revealed in the animation where he flicks up the fan he's holding when you get a right answer or something.
Oh yes, also he is wearing long earrings that look like he's just like dyed his like long hair flappy bits get like two-toned yellow and green.
Ear doilies.
Yep.
Yeah, so this one is even more complex questions. They're really like digging in.
Well, they call it brutal for a reason. What can we say?
Yeah. Thankfully, finishing just the hard mode counts as finishing the Sun Door overall. So if you're just trying to tick the boxes to move on to that star door that makes you play every other door, that's all you need to do.
This is a lot of dates.
Yeah.
Numbers in a different sense. Like, what chapter of the Doll Knight had this? What chapter of the Doll Knight had that? What was the number that Estelle had to memorize to change the orbital lamp out in the prologue?
I got that right from memory.
I know, because you memorized it.
I did. I was so shocked of all these questions because, yeah, there was a lot of dates or like how many chapters in the different book series, I think was the other one that they kept getting me with. Which chapter did Blue Blanc hide the thing in the Dull Night?
Yeah.
But when that question about the Orbital repellent thing came up and it's like, which of these is? I just sort of scanned here and I was like, that one touches my heart. I picked that one and it was correct.
I love that.
And it was the fastest, highest point score I'd ever gotten in the quiz.
Amazing. I love that. There's another kind of question that would appeal to you, but I don't know if you got it in your rounds. But multiple translations of Kitty Talk for Dummies.
That was another one that I got correct off the bat.
I love that.
The one that I got was like the expression of joy, nya nya nya.
Yes.
And I got it immediately because that is another thing that I've somehow ingrained on my brain. His little trivia response is like he gives a cat phrase and is like, if you got that question right, you know what that means.
You want to let us know on if it was real or if he's lying to us and making something up?
Where's my cat dictionary? Yeah, so if you get it right, at least for that question that I got, he says nyaun, which is you're absolutely right, brackets, strong affirmation. So it's just him saying correct in cat.
Oh, that's so cute.
But yeah, very, very cute. Nice to get some payoff on the cat information.
Oh, wait. He has two cat things that he says, because there's another question, which is nya tilde o is the other thing he says on a different one.
Yeah, this is it.
All right.
I think.
It is it.
Yeah, just a lot of great, like, deep questions. Oh, one of the ones that I got that caught me was in the first game when you have that mock fight against some of the gate guards. It's like, which two gate guards was it?
Yeah.
And it lists a bunch of names that are all names you've heard or are very close to names you've heard. Like, I love that Ethan and Antos is one of them, so you could, like, accidentally pull an Anton.
Yeah.
But yes, of course you should remember it's Harold and Scott.
Yeah. And then, you win that, you get, this is where you get the time quartz, right?
Round 3 is when you get the swiftness quartz, which makes every regular battle an advantage battle, which, God, that's a fucking lifesaver. Just so many battles, so much quicker.
Oh no, it's round 4 is where you get the time quartz.
Oh, the time one specifically, sorry, yeah. You get the time gem from the Maniac level. The swiftness one you get for Brutal, yeah.
Yes. The
Maniac difficulty, I gave it a go, but I did not beat it because they're very tough questions.
Okay, I get it. It is tough. Campanella's outfit is wild here, and it's clear that this is different art, like, because he's way bigger. Like, it's clear that this is not, they didn't do this art at the same time.
He 100% looks like a Sailor Moon villain.
He does. His hair's curly.
His little spiky things off the top of his head are even curled around, then he's got little ringlets coming down the side of his face.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a military style jacket with like epaulets and stuff. 100% just the first season of Sailor Moon. Look up what like Nephrite and those other guys look like.
Yeah.
It's that, but more colorful. And then he's also got roses and spikies off his shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, like almost like a cape, but not. It's so funny.
It's like a Mr. Sinister cape. That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah. So then, the kinds of questions you're getting here. Now, I managed to get this because I would just read through all the answers, and then I'm good at like short-term memory, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there are also things that I just know. Like, there's a number of them that are like soundtracks. So, like, what's the name of the song of this, the song of that? It's like, what's the name of the regular battle theme in FC? I know it's Sophisticated Fight. You know, what's the name of the theme for FC's Final Dungeon? What's the name of the track that plays during the credits of SC and of FC? And I mean, I've sung, I swear, on this podcast before, so I know that. Some as a reference to chess messages.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the ones I got when I attempted it were ones that saying, which of these is not ... So it's like, which of these is an incorrect answer out of 3 out of 4 correct answers? So stuff like, which of these isn't a lyric from Amber Amour?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. Those ones really pull me up because you've got to take more time to take in all the information. And then there's some real picky ones like, how many fishing spots are there in Le Burle? And I was like, how the fuck am I meant to know?
They're silly.
And then fun, like, mechanics-based ones, like what is the most amount of mirror you can have in this game? Like, what's the maximum play time that can be displayed? You would have to hope that you don't know the answer to that one, otherwise you've been playing too much Trails.
Too much. There's also one question that is a hint at something. The Cornelia books, well, it's really Campanella's answer that's a hint at something, but they say, which of these names is not used as a nickname by the protagonist in it? And the right answer is Micht? I don't know. And Campanella just points out that was the name of the guy who owns the Orbital factory, and he goes, Ein Salnet turned out to be based on a real person, which isn't true. Carnelia is based on a real person who's Ein Salnet. They don't call her Ein Salnet, I don't think, in Carnelia. But anyway, he goes, Unsigned's based on a real person. What about this guy? Which is a hint that maybe we're going to meet other Carnelia characters at some point.
I'm skimming through, and there's some that is just fun information.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun little info.
There's a question separately for, like, what is the maximum level in first chapter or second chapter or third chapter?
Yeah.
And it turns out that the maximum level in FC was 49.
Yes.
That party members could reach. In SC, it was 99, and in third, it's 149. So I didn't actually know that they had varying level caps.
Yeah, now you know.
But it's also nice to know how close I am to max level in this game right now.
We're so close. All right. I'm like, wow. And for winning it, you get the Time Quartz, which is a basically level 5 cast quartz, except it also lowers your ATS, so your magic isn't as strong, but it goes off so fast it's almost instant.
That's cool. Yeah. Because I was only complaining like an episode or two ago that we never got more than a cast 2 as like a direct casting item. So
no, this is cast 3, but it's a big jump.
Yeah. And alas, I will never experience it because that last quiz was just too hard for me. I got to see the art, and that was enough for me.
That's all fine.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Honestly, like, challenging, weirdly designed, but kind of fun trivia game. I didn't feel slighted if I lost.
It's kind of fun. It's clearly not meant to be fair. It's clearly meant to be bullshit in a way that makes it okay that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It feels like Campanella is pranking you, which he is. So like you're kind of okay with it because that's who Campanella is. So yeah, I'm actually like pretty fine with this. What were you gonna give it? I'm thinking 3 or 3.5. I just haven't decided.
I think 3.5 feels right. Because the questions were challenging. I definitely felt like I learnt some, actually, I might go 4. Because I felt like I learnt some new facts about the series, even just from, like, failing. More information got ingrained, and I kind of realized how much I knew about the series already based on this. It is unfair in a way that doesn't feel unfair, like it feels designed.
Yeah.
It's very funny, based on how they calculate your final score, how hard it is to earn fucking anything at first. Like the first round, because basically the maths of it is, it's the score you got from your time left per question times how many strikes you have left, so how many.
It's so silly.
And then times a difficulty multiplier based on which level of the trivia you're doing. So when I pretty sufficiently beat the first level, the normal difficulty, the prize was 10 mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You're not actually here to make money based on how good you are at trivia.
No.
It's just a pittance. Like, you'd have to be playing like a perfect instantaneous game to get that top prize. And even that's only 10 grand, which won't buy you a new sword at this point.
No.
It's just for fun. It's just for like the goof of it.
Yeah. It's just for the bit.
It's great, yeah. Like, I think it was fun. The last round being sort of unbeatable without really, like, drilling into it is why I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5. But yeah, I thought this was a nice little final wrap-up of the final game of this first arc. Like, kind of all these references back to the past.
Mm-hmm. It's quite fun, actually. It's cute. And just the Campanella of it all just really elevates it, right?
Yeah.
And that he clearly knows that you're the player of the game.
Also, just Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a great pun, and it deserves to be paid off.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna say, fuck it, I'll give it a 4. Wait, I think that's the same I gave the arena. Yeah, fine, I'll give it a, well, who cares?
Yeah.
I'll give Campanella a 4. There's no story either, it's just Campanella. I just like hanging out with Campanella.
Yeah, honestly, playing through these quizzes and sort of internalizing all this information just to get by, I found myself thinking, is this why Lex knows so much trivia about this series? She played this and it's just kind of burnt into her brain.
It's part of this. There's another quiz game at one point that is similar in that there's hard levels that have silly, like, that have absurd things, and this is definitely part of why I know so much weird trivia.
Reveries minigames?
Because I even just looking through the answers to the questions, I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of this. With so many bullshit games that don't quite work, this one's clearly designed to be bullshit, and I kind of appreciate that.
It's bullshit, but in a way that I actually enjoyed doing rather than felt subjected to. So, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that is the end of Sun Door 5. That's all of the Sun Doors done. We did it.
It is. We did it. All right, so what is our final ranking?
Okay, our final rankings across these 5 Sun Doors are... For Sun Door 1, Capua's delivery service, we gave a combined 1.5 out of 5 suns for their turret minigame. For Sun Door 2, Legendary Angler Estelle, for fishing, we gave it a collective 0 out of 5 suns, justifiably.
Mm-hmm.
Sum Door 3, the arena with our little combat rounds. Combined score of 4.25 out of 5 suns, quite high. The casino Gambler Jack, which was Sum Door 4, we gave 2.75 out of 5, so just over a passing grade. And finally, for Sum Door 5, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Campy, 4 out of 5.
So what does that put as the ranking? What does that mean? So that means Millionaire ended up top.
So first place Sum Door is Arena with 4.25. Second place Millionaire with 4. Third place is the Casino, 2.75. Fourth place Capua's at 1.5. And Legendary Angler Estelle, 0 out of 5 stars, does not merit consideration.
Makes sense. All right, look at us go. These are the objective and final and only correct rankings.
Yes, this is an absolutely objective ranking of the merit of these people's work, which is a thing that is cool to do to art, LOL brackets sarcastic.
I'm actually, I love, it's so us that this somehow ended up being pretty even and like positive on a, like,
Yeah.
somehow we're not actually, this was supposed to be our hateration episode and it's not.
Yeah.
Even when we try to be haters, we're not very good at it.
Yes. The Trail series is just saying, like, if you can't survive me at my legendary Angler Estelle, you don't deserve me at the arena.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think the conclusion is we like liking things.
Yeah, it's much nicer.
And we get really upset when a game won't give us anything to like about it.
We will find a silver lining even if we have to get out a silver Sharpie ourselves and draw it on.
Yeah, that's inaccurate.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for joining us for this summary of Sum Doors, the Sunnary episode.
The Sunnary. I like that.
That's a bad pun. I'll probably use it. We hope you enjoyed / abstained from these Sum Doors appropriately. Take this either as a warning or a sense of commiseration, depending on whether or not you've played them yet.
Indeed.
I am happy to be done with at least one of them. You'll never guess which. Reply in the Discord to see if you can guess.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel having finished all these Sum Doors, Lex? Do you feel like your life is better?
I do. I still have to finish the arena because I haven't gone into Abyss to get the thing for it yet. But I feel fine with doing that. I'm happy to do that. It'll be fun. I feel good that it's off the chest. All that's left is final chapter. That's all.
And then we're done. Oh my god. Well, with this one.
As a reminder, we mentioned this in the last episode, but again, next chapter we are playing up to the point of no return, which they tell you right at the top of the chapter that boarding the Arcee is the point of no return, where you're going off to do the final boss stuff. So we're going to play up till then, which means we're doing the Abyss Dungeon and Stardust 13, 14, 15.
Yes.
Abyss Dungeon is an optional dungeon area, to be clear.
Not for us. Full completionists, that's what we are, even though I just said that I skipped most of the fishing game. Thank you for joining us for this little interstitial episode, and we'll cover all that in the next main episode next week. But until then, as always, if you would like to interact with us, you can find us in many places on the internet. You can find us at TrailsPod on Instagram, Twitter, the Everything app, and Blue Sky. You can also find us on YouTube, which we don't usually mention, but all of our episodes get posted to YouTube in video format, just with the cover art, so you can listen through YouTube if that's a thing you like to do.
Some people do.
You can email us at trailsthroughtrails@gmail.com. You can find us on the internet at trailspod.online for our website, or theworstgarbage.online for the Worst Garbage Podcast Network, which includes us and many other wonderful faces who love to talk about cool things. Check them out there. Review us on your platforms of choice. Tell a friend. That's a great way to get the word out there and infect other people with a love of this series. That's what we're here to do. We want to be a disease vector for JRPG madness.
That's the plan. That's the goal.
That's why we're doing an interstitial episode, even though we told ourselves we would do an episode every 2 weeks for our own sanity. Too bad us. Ha 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 ha.
We're too dependent. We have this toxic relationship with Trails. We can't stay away.
It's true. So until next week, when we see you for the regular episode covering the first part of the finale of Trails in the Sky the Third, I have been Matt.
And I've been Lex.
And we will see you back on the trail. Kevin, you want to send us out?
It's over!
TWG, the worst garbage, online.